the Arizona Supreme Court ruled yesterday that a 160-year-old near total abortion ban is enforceable in the state. The ban will likely go into effect in 2 weeks, forcing abortion clinics to close. Here's what the state's governor, Katie Hobbs, had to say about it on CBS this morning.
This is a devastating decision that will have huge consequences, and I immediately called on our legislature to repeal this ban. They could do that today. They could gavel in today and make a motion to repeal this ban, and they should do that. I'm hopeful that they will, because this will have devastating consequences for Arizona. But Arizonans will also have a chance in November to enshrine the right to abortion in our state's constitution with a ballot measure. And I'm confident that when they have the chance to do that, they will.
All right, Jeff, reinstating a law from 1864. Thoughts?
Not great. Not good at all. I've been very vocal about this. I'm not for the overturning of Roe v. Wade, and if you're confused about that, I'm for a woman's right to choose what she wants. I watched my wife give birth twice, both vaginally and a C-section, and what her body went through with that, it's completely up to her whether we had a third child or not, and that's okay with me. Now, taking the government into it, when you get sexually assaulted by a man who the government didn't put in prison for life because they've been a multiple offender, that same government is telling you you're not allowed to have an abortion because we didn't do our job after a 5th rape attempt, and now you're pregnant with that very same child. You have to, okay, what my wife went through during pregnancy, I'm just trying to imagine this because I can't even imagine that. I can't even imagine wearing heels, let alone going through a pregnancy. And then going through, this man ravaged me, trying to go to sleep at night, and then carrying that baby for 9 months, and then having the dilemma of, this is also my baby, should I get rid of that? This is insane. To me, this is insane. I understand we're going to take it to a political place, and Republicans and Democrats. This is insane for America.
Before you jump in, Tori, I just want to say, because you witnessed how hard it is on a woman's body, imagine that being a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old.
Oh, I didn't even. Yeah,
that's not
we
like
could keep going down.
Yes. Hyperbole. Those are real incidents
hyperbole. Yes.
that happen in the United States and worldwide.
Can I also?
Yes. Good point. I didn't even like my mind. There's so many ways.
Now imagine that 12-year-old was raped by her uncle. There's no exception for that. You have to carry that to term. Okay, so let me give you the background of this 1864 law. It provides that abortion providers will be punished by a prison sentence from 2 to 5 years. And there is no cases for rape or incest.
So the guy who raped you is out on jail, but you will go to jail.
Correct. That's exactly correct. Now, I want to be clear about this. The political side of this is really important. And what I want you to know, first off, is that when abortion was up in 7 different states this election round, Democrats won every single time. It is a losing issue. Women will come out and say, I don't want government in my doctor's office. The person who has realized this is Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump spoke out really recently and said that he thinks it should be left up to the states. That's what he originally said. He has just come forward today to say that he will not sign a federal abortion ban.
Well, this is all happening because of him. I'm sorry.
I agree with you.
I'm not giving somebody credit that stacked the court and created this situation to begin with.
It's a flip-flop is what it is. Now, Carrie Lake, who's also running for the Senate and might change the determination of whether it's a Republican or Democratic run Senate, is saying this is a great law. The second Donald Trump came out, I hate this law. So know that this is all a political move, that they realize it's not a winning issue, and they're flip-flopping, not based on morals, not based on what women need and care about, because they want the votes, and that's disgusting.
Well, I look at this, and we're talking about stacked courts. I mean, any president that's in there is going to try and stack the court as much as they can. I think what the Republicans done is, I think of the situation of the dog that caught the car. They were not intending to actually
overturn Roe v. Wade.
Well, this is how you fundraise. Hey, we need a couple more bucks.
And then it happened.
And they did it. And the problem is, they always knew it was unpopular, but I didn't think they understood how wildly unpopular. And when you go down the list of the wildly unpopular stances that they're taking, the Voting Rights Act, going after IVF, at least the Democrats, and this is just a political stance, have, hey, we're going to get rid of your student loans. Hey, we're going to legalize marijuana. These are all things that whether you disagree, some people want them. The Republicans don't have anything that is anything but the stick. And when you get into office and within a year, things that were settled law like Roe v. Wade, affirmative action, the Voting Rights Act, things are just gutted immediately. It really galvanizes the base that you didn't want to galvanize, which is young people, which you kind of want to sleep in college, just drifting through life. Now you've galvanized a bunch of people who are ready to vote for you in perpetuity for the rest of their life. So I don't think this is the right move, Kyle.
And before you speak, 7%, by the way, from a poll at YouGov, 7% of Arizona voters are for an outright abortion ban. As Al said, this isn't popular by 93%
No, most Republicans I know are, even if they are, pro-life, they definitely want exceptions.
Exactly.
Erica?
Yeah, and who makes those exceptions? Because when when we are learning more about this law from 1864, which sets up a precedent that I don't think a lot of people are ready for, it also said that in the case where the mother's life was in jeopardy. But we've seen in very real time women whose lives have been in jeopardy, and they have to wait for the courts to decide, as if their bodies or biology is going to wait for those decisions to be made. In terms of their health and their well-being. The other thing is, when you start talking about laws that are on the books, especially antiquated laws from like 1864, I would encourage anyone to go through the laws that are on your books in states that you live in. Because if this is a precedent, then this could affect marriage, it could affect slavery.
Voting
there are
rights?
so many antiquated laws that are on the books that have just been dormant and no one's talking about. If this one is actually has a leg to stand on, that means they all do. So I think that when we're talking about it in regards to abortion, but this could affect any law out there.
You guys, this is scary.
Terrifying.
Just personalize it. Imagine your wife, you have 4 kids at home. She is, her pregnancy has complications at the end, and she has to make the most difficult decision to either end her life or end her fetus's life. She does not want to end her fetus's life, but she also has 4 kids to feed at home. So imagine those decisions that a lot of women have to face on those final moments. And then they don't even get to have that choice. Their 4 children don't get to have that choice. Their spouse doesn't get to have that choice. Come on, put yourself in someone else's shoes, please.